welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be having a sit down and coffee chat all about mental health and the importance of, you know, reaching out, asking people are they okay, and being there for someone who may need help regardless of if they admit it or not. You know, basically we're just gonna have a chat about the importance of, you know, mental health. Basically, yeah, I've said it once or twice now, mental health. First, if you could smash me a big thumbs up down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll forever be grateful. So let's get on to the video. So before we start, I just want to say thank you so much to the Instagram page that sent me this incredible present. It was a gift and I was totally not expecting it. I didn't know, and I just really want to say thank you so much. I'm going to link their Instagram down below, and I'm also going to put it on the screen because you guys need to follow them. They literally are advocates for everybody, every human being, regardless of your gender, your sexuality, anything, religion. They're there for you, and they literally are an amazing company, an amazing, you know, you need to follow them because honestly they're so inspiring. And I just love this cup, you know, it's got my coffee in it, and we're going to be having a coffee chat. So, you know, it's got my Starbucks coffee in it. Yeah, it's important to me. So I have had my fair share of, you know, mental health crises, mental health issues and challenges. I've had my fair share, and let me just tell you, it's not pretty, and it's not something that literally goes away overnight. It's not. So basically I'm gonna go back to the beginning where I started to realise that actually I had more than a little bit of anxiety. It wasn't just, you know, it wasn't just a little bit of nervousness or like butterflies in my stomach. It started to get way more than that, and we're gonna go back to when that was. So for me, it's been a very, very long time since I have, you know, I've been diagnosed with anxiety since I was around 11 years old. So when I was younger, I had a really, really bad issue with sleep. So a lot of you know, I struggle with sleep. I literally co-slept a lot longer than a lot of people would. I had sleep therapists out, and my parents were worried, like, why can't she sleep in her own room? You know, I even had my little sister that I shared a room with, and it still wasn't okay. I didn't like it. So I always kind of had to co-sleep with my mum, and my dad slept downstairs. He had his own room. Like, it was just a difficult time growing up. I then started to kind of grow older and sleep in my own room, and it got a little bit better. But sleep has always been an anxiety for me, and you know, ever since a few years ago, it started again. I had to then transition back into my mum's room. I sleep on the floor in my parents' bedroom over the other side. So we both got our own privacy, but it is something that is an anxiety trigger for me. I don't feel safe when I'm asleep. I feel very vulnerable and my mind just doesn't stop. So sleep is a trigger for me with anxiety. So even when I was younger, I had a lot of anxiety, but it wasn't till I was around 11 that I really started to notice, wow, I feel really different when I feel anxious. Like, it's more than a little bit of butterflies. So as I've spoken about before, I've always wanted to be a policewoman. That's always been my dream. When I was younger, it was always, I want to be a policewoman. I want to drive the car. So as I got older, I started to join like the Army Air Cadets, because it was the military police specifically that I wanted to go into. So, you know, the Army Cadets around here were Air Cadets. So I joined them and I absolutely loved it. I was working my way up to like Lance Corporal, and I really, really wanted to give it a go. Like, I was so passionate about it until one specific day. And that was the 11th of November. We were on a Remembrance Day parade, and I've always had this thing about illness anyway. I've always been a worrier about, oh, I feel ill, is that bad? Am I going to die? When's it going to go? Is it going to last forever? That's always been an illness trigger for me. Like, health has always been a trigger. But it wasn't till this specific day that it got worse, and I think this day triggered everything up until now. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's made, that day was a significant event, and it's made my life how it is. So we were standing on parade, and these other cadets were actually fainting around me. It was a very hot day. They fainted, and I was actually stood next to one girl, and she fainted and she fell in front of me. Whew. It's very triggering for me. Anyway, and ever since that day, I haven't been able to stand without a water bottle. I have a drink with me everywhere I go, because fainting is a very, very big fear of mine now. Ever since this happened on parade, it's always been a trigger, and I was never able to go back to Army Cadets. I was never able to go. I went a couple of times after this and I couldn't stand on parade, and they said to me, you know, there's nothing we can do if you can't stand on parade. There's not really much we can do. So I left, and that's always, you know, it's always been a big thing for me, because Army Cadets was something I loved, I focused on. I had a friendship group there, and in school I had no friends. So when I was at Army Cadets, it was like, oh, I found my people. But then I left, and I had to leave because my anxiety won. I had no other option but to leave. So around this time, my behaviour at school started to get really, really bad. I was getting excluded, getting into like bitchy argument, fight things at school. And friendships again started to become a really big issue. And I started to, you know, I just started to let myself go because I failed. I can't even be a policewoman, you know. In my mind, it was like, how am I going to be a policewoman if I can't do this? My mind just then started to really just hate who I was, and I hated that I was different. Obviously at this time I was 11, 12. I had no ADHD diagnosis. I didn't even know what the hell ADHD was. I didn't even know I had anxiety really. I only kind of knew that when I get a lot of butterflies in my stomach. But it got worse because even at school I was getting very germs and oh, I can't use the toilet because we're about to, you know, things were becoming very apparent that actually this has really triggered something. So my mum then took me to the doctor, and I went to therapy about anxiety, and actually that made it worse for me. It wasn't one-to-one therapy, it was group therapy. And this is where, again, I don't think therapy worked for me whatsoever. It actually made it a lot worse, and I can see that it made it worse. So where we was in a group, right, other people were talking about their anxiety, like what scares them, and one person in particular spoke about how they are petrified that somebody is going to poison them with bleach in their drink or put bleach in their sandwiches. And oh my god, guess what now? I will not have anything in the kitchen, and if I haven't cleaned it myself, or if I haven't seen it be taken out of the dishwasher and put away and not put on the side where bleach could be sprayed on it, I won't drink out of it. I will rewash it about 4 or 5 times because I'm absolutely petrified someone has put bleach near it. So again, this triggered another health thing with me. I was petrified I'm going to be poisoned. So going out in public, going to restaurants, I didn't want to eat off knife and forks. I didn't want to do anything because I was just like, what about if someone poisons me? So basically, again, therapy didn't help me in that aspect. It made my anxiety even worse. My anxiety started when I was very young, and it has gotten worse. And that is why now I'm on antidepressants, because my anxiety is very, very kind of like dominant in my life. I've tried many things and it doesn't work, but that doesn't mean I failed. And this is where, you know, it doesn't matter if you rely on tablets to help you with ADHD. No, it doesn't matter what you take medication for. If it helps you and it gives you that little bit of an extra kind of backbone, then why the hell does it matter? There's so much stigma around like, oh, you're using it just as you want to get high, or you want to use it. Because with ADHD medication, you know, some of it can be amphetamine based and it can have some amphetamine in it. And obviously mine is, and unfortunately I have to be medicated. There's really no other answer because I can't cope without my medication, and I'm not scared to say that. There's a lot of people that, you know, I've had in my comments, I've had messages like, why do you use medication? It's not right, you shouldn't do that. You can do it with, like, I don't know, like they call it unethical. They say, oh, you can use natural remedies. The thing is, I don't agree with that. I don't even like the thought of doing CBD or whatever it is, like marijuana or whatever that is. None of that has ever appealed to me, nor will I ever try it. That it's just, you know, it's one of those things that I am not open to do. So yeah, I am medicated and I'm on a controlled drug. I know that it's not harmful to me. I've read up on it. I've spoken to doctors, private doctors. I know that it's not going to make me infertile like some of these myths say. I'm not bothered anymore about other people's opinions, and I just want you guys to know your mental health needs to be a priority always. Never allow someone else's opinion to make you feel like your feelings aren't valid, because they are valid. And I want you to know that your experiences with mental health are so important. You need to share them, open up, talk to anyone, talk to me, message me on Instagram. I'm always here if you need a chat. Like, your mental health needs to be your main priority. If you're working and you struggle, ask for accommodations. You are more than you know, you have the right to ask for accommodations, and they need to accommodate your mental health issues. They cannot sack you for having anxiety or anything like that, and bipolar, schizophrenia. They cannot sack you. This against the law. You are allowed to have accommodations. You are allowed to take mental health days. So please don't be afraid to ask and seek help, because honestly, it's nothing to be ashamed of. So growing up, I always kind of gave into peer pressure because I wanted to be part of the popular gang, and me being popular has just never been something that's been natural. I am not a likable person, and I'm not going to admit it. I'm not going to like lie and say, oh, I've always been popular, because I'm not. Like, people just don't like me, and that's okay. It hurts me a lot, but I've gotten used to it. Like, people just don't like me. And you know what? If people don't like me, they don't like me, because I love who I am. I love who I've evolved into. And I've worked so hard to make myself who I am. And this is the best version of me that there currently is. I'm so, you know, I'm in the best place with myself, with my family. I love myself. I'm so, you know, I love my body. I love my hair. And I just love who I am. And I'm so thankful that I'm in the position now to love myself, because going back 2 years ago, I hated every part of me and I didn't want to be alive. But now, you know, it is possible to come back from a setback. You know, every setback, it's your chance to come back. You know, it's getting you ready to come back, and you're going to be stronger than ever. And what I want you to know is, just because you have been knocked down, that does not mean you're not strong enough to get yourself back up, because you are. So please, guys, remember, just seek help, ask for help. Don't ever be ashamed to admit that you are struggling, especially you boys, you men. Don't ever be ashamed. I actually personally think being in touch with your feelings and admitting that you're struggling, that is one of the most attractive things personally, because if you can say, actually, I need help, that to me, that just shows, you know, self-worth, strength. It's not a weakness. It shows just how strong you are. Doesn't matter if you've got a six-pack. Doesn't matter if you can, I don't know, lift 50 bloody kg of weights. Who cares? You are, honestly, I think it's weak that people don't ask for help. I really encourage you guys to use your strength and ask for help, because I know you're strong. I know you are. If you're struggling and you're living every day with mental health issues, you are stronger than you believe, because we have to be strong. There's no other option. Like, there's no kind of option to quit, because we're strong enough to get through this. And trust me, there is an end to this torture. Our mind does put us through some battles, but trust me, they wouldn't put us through it if they didn't know we were strong enough to come back. So trust me, get through it, guys. I know you can. And never be ashamed to ask for help. Please never be ashamed. My mum has bipolar, and trust me, she is the strongest woman I know. Regardless of what mental health issue you've got, whatever challenge, or diverse conditions or disorders, whatever, you are strong. You're strong enough. You're valuable enough. You are worth it. Get yourself help, because you are the priority. You need to know just how important you are. And once you know that, trust me, you will be thriving. Your mental health has always got to be your main priority. Never put work, gym, anything like that in front of your mental health, because you can be as healthy as you want, eat as healthy as you want, have a six-pack, be really, really skinny, and love yourself like that. But if you're not healthy up here, then none of that actually matters, because trust me, when you're healthy up here, the whole world is your oyster. But when you let your mind take control, everything seems impossible, but it's not. I want to be your example, and let me know. I just want to let you know, I've come back from such a low place. I want you to know that even though you're that low, you can't go no lower. All you can do is get back up and keep thriving. Once you've been that low, trust me, you won't go down there again, because you will build the strength to knock all those bad thoughts out your head, knock everyone else who literally has hurt you, damaged you. You will know, actually, I'm stronger than that. I'm worth more than that. And your self-worth will thrive, and you will know just how worthy you are of respect, love, and you don't know how worthy you are. Like, you just don't know. So I'm going to stop here, because I don't want to be boring you guys, but I just want you to know that you are so important to me. And if that's the only person that is going to that you feel supports you, then trust me, I support you. I am here for you. This channel is literally a place where I want others to open up, speak about their mental health, because mental health is so important, trust me. I hope that you've had a coffee and you've enjoyed this chat. If not a coffee, squash, a beer, a tea, or whatever you're drinking. Let's take a sip, ready? Let's do a cheers. Cheers.